He's over there.
You'd have to go a pretty long way back into Labour's time in office to find a point where they were ahead in the polls. Based on an average, the first time they were knocked off their perch was just months after winning the election in 2024. A bit of a tussle ensued over the following months, but ever since then, a series of scandals, corruption exposés and expectedly disappointing economic policies saw Labour sink faster than the Titanic, and worryingly, reformplc.co.uk/recycled Tories gained an increasing lead thenceforth, with some pollsters reckoning they'd land over 300 seats at the next general election.
Oh, hell no!
With the backlash against Peter Scandelson still causing a headache for the Prime Minister, and another U-turn this week over planned delays to 30 council elections brought about by a legal challenge, it's not exactly been a recipe for a comeback from Keir, who says he's going to fight on, despite calls for his resignation even coming from within his own party. The Greens are, of course, still making gains that are chipping into both Labour and Reform's polling percentage, but the surveys we've seen for months now, unfortunately, still indicate a strong lead for Farage's gang of grifters that even a mass coalition of all the other parties wouldn't surpass. And terrifyingly, very forebodingly,
how can I put this?
A far-right government now seems inevitable.
And it's useless. Might as well write him off. Let's close up the bridge. Let's get out of here. Close it up. Lights out.
Or does it? Hold up, people.
Quiet!
Before you all start bashing cheap places to live in Ireland into your search engines, just this week, a new player has appeared on the scene in the form of Rupert Lowe.
Who's that guy?
He's a 68-year-old former MEP who won the seat for Great Yarmouth, standing for Reform at the last election. However, since March, he's been an independent and has now launched his own party called Restore.
Isn't that a little derivative?
So what? What's the big deal, you might think? Well, a poll has just come out including this new party, and even though, as I'm recording this, it's not even 6 days old, they've already taken a 10% cut of the polling pie, which seems to have split the far-right vote, as well as put the Green Party breathing down Reform's neck by just 5%.
Lights on.
Yes, apparently Rupert's opening pitch from a farm in the party's debut promotion video this week was enough to convince enough people to get on board, even though all he said was that he'd get rid of millions of people, and I think we all know which people he's talking about, though he was remiss in any mention of how he'd do this or where these people are expected to go and by what means. Regardless, the latest news is that some 60,000 people have already signed up to Restore, and while you'd have to monosyllabically ask the members themselves as to why they've seemingly ditched Farage, I'd suspect that making nothing but vague xenophobic statements, and thus far being absent from the Epstein files as opposed to the Clacton-on-Sea absentee, has at least something to do with it. So, bearing in mind that you have to take polls with a pinch of salt, especially ones from Find Out Now, if this survey is anything close to accurate, this could really put the cat amongst the pigeons if there's going to be a right-wing rivalry in the run-up to the next general election. Whilst we're waiting to see the impact in the polls from your party, in theory, Zach Polanski could continue to reach new heights and even potentially force a polarised hung parliament should Restore keep nibbling a few points without ascending anywhere close to where Reform have reached recently. Oh, and for those of you wondering why a far-right party has been at the top of the polls for so long, tonight's Question Time panel offers a classic example, with the most talked about by-election in years taking place in Gorton and Denton a week from today. The BBC have decided to platform a Reform representative with nobody from the Green Party, who are strong odds-on favourites with the bookmakers at the time of recording this video, and I wonder why that might be. Fingers crossed for Hannah Spencer, by the way. There's also been much talk this week about Reform's so-called shadow cabinet, which was announced yesterday. Even though you can count all of their MPs on one hand, They seem to have counted their chickens before the eggs have hatched, and assuming that they'll be strolling into office with a super whooper duper majority that hasn't been seen since the late 90s. But there are some telling omissions from these fantastical appointments. Notably, a shadow health secretary has not been named, presumably because there won't be an NHS to look after under reform, nor has a shadow secretary for defence been announced, but in all likelihood that might be something that Farage wants to handle personally, should he be elected, if you know what I mean. One position that has been decided though is Shadow Chancellor, which will be filled by Robert Jenrick, who only defected last month, and has kicked things off by saying that he'll reintroduce the two-child benefit cap, something which the Prime Minister was forced into U-turning on just last week.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
So, with decisively unpopular policies like this being announced, and the apparent growing affection for the strawberry-nosed Eurosceptic Rupert Lowe, could we now see another shift in the political platform in UK politics that sees the old-school parties sink even lower? Or could this just be a flash in the pan and is Restore's initial popularity hugely overstated? Whatever your thoughts are on the matter, please let us know in the comments below. As always, your feedback's much appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching to the end of the video. If you'd like to help the channel out a bit more, then please check out some of our other content and hit various supportive buttons such as like and subscribe. Super thanks are also open, and there's a link to our Buy Me a Coffee page in the description of this video. If you want to go a step further, then hit the join button, and for only 99p you can enjoy exclusive perks like members only videos and early viewings, plus lots more, and you get to join the list of awesome people that you can see on your screen right now. As always, your contributions are much appreciated. Thanks again people, my left eye will be seeing you soon.